Me here on the Metro, I've got a studio full of lovely ladies. I have Miss Ruth Ann Rigby with First Responders of Mississippi and Miss Christy Hogan, who is the president of Wheels for Magnolia State's First Responders. And y'all have a great event coming up. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, this is exciting. And when you walked in, I thought, well, what a wonderful transition from law enforcement to then helping our first responders and law enforcement. The Lord just sort of orchestrated that right on up.
He sure did.
But this started, Ruth Ann, with you starting First Responders of Mississippi. So share with us a little bit of your passion behind that project.
My husband and I are co-founders of First Responders of Mississippi, a 501c3 dedicated to helping our first responders and their families and their agencies in their greatest time of need. And through that effort, we have met Christy. And you know, our life has been forever changed, and we partner with her on a lot of events because we feel what she has created and her law firm has created is a wonderful opportunity for first responders and their families to get their house in order, so to speak. And when I say house in order, that means wills and all those type of things that Christy can talk further about, because as a wife of a first responder, you know, that's one of the things that we have done also is to be sure that we have wills done, advanced directives, and durable power of attorneys.
Which is not the fun stuff to talk about. I mean, just talking about, you know, today's wedding anniversary, 14 years. But these are things that all couples, all households should at least think about. But not everyone walks into danger, potential danger, every single day of their life in terms of their job or their profession of choice. Yes, everyone doesn't know when their day is numbered for sure. But then some professions just, you know, tend to be a little bit higher up on the possibility risk than others. And so having that all in line takes a great deal of pressure off of those that may be left behind or that just are, you know, trying to live their everyday. Okay, so Christy, tell us a little bit about your practice and how you came to grips with this was just an important offering that you could provide the first responders of Mississippi.
Well, this program has been in effect for the last 20 years, and it started in Cincinnati, Ohio, and the paralegal that I work with there in our Cincinnati office started the program as Wheels. It was started as Wheels for Heroes, then it went to Wheels for First Responders, and she's been doing the program probably quarterly for the last 20 years. And that's how I got to know the program. She taught me everything I know. She came down, helped us work our first event, and we just carry on her program here in Mississippi.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit how the program works, because this is free, I would assume, legal advice or legal sort of help, which we know, you know, that's one thing. I think someone yesterday, I posted a great story about a Laurel police officer or two police officers who showed up and showed out for a young girl, buying her, you know, little outfits and all the things that she needed for school. It was just a wonderful, heartwarming story, and that's just one of many. I mean, that's the one that came to the top of the headlines that day. But we know our law enforcement do that every day. And someone said we should be paying them more. That and teachers, I think, are the two. And so we know that maybe they don't have the resources just to go and get a legal team behind them. You know, that may be a hindrance. So this is just removing that roadblock for them. So how does it work, Christy?
They just contact me at my office. All the information, I can give that to you. But they contact me to sign up for a time. We do events. We try to do events a couple of times a year. We're trying to do it a little bit more often going forward. But we're just now getting everything in line, set up. So we are scheduled for Saturday, September 23rd.
Okay. No, October 23rd.
October 23rd, sorry.
September has
Saturday.
Flying.
Well, you just need to get out your calendar for 2022.
Yes.
And then October's flying is by as well. It's almost half over as well. So October the 23rd.
October 23rd at the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. We will be there that day, but you do have to call and sign up for a time slot. We go ahead and try to get a little bit of information from you. There's nothing there's no social security numbers or anything like that. It's just basic information that we need to do the documents on that day. We do wills and we do the healthcare directives. It's completely free. Everything's done by volunteers. There's no catch. It's just completely.
And it's like a group of paralegals and attorneys. You know, right. When we're there, there's probably about 32 people. in-house, if you will. And it goes very quickly. And I just want to say a couple of things about Christy and what her and her agency is providing. Is it's invaluable because we don't want to lose a first responder or, parents. Let's talk about a first responder being a parent. If God forbid something happens to them, this is the greatest gift they can give their family is having their house in order and having a will created and advance directives done. And because, unfortunately, we know the people that have not, and it has created a lot of
chaos
yes. in their families.
Well, and uncertainty.
So this is such a great free service that I think we have almost 40 people signed up.
We do.
We want to we want to get at least 50 more. And, the chief was on before we came on. We were like, oh, my goodness, those are sworn officers at UMMC. And, that's one of the things that we can offer them is they can come and do the same thing, so even though we're a hospital system.
Was going to be one of my questions, Christy or Ruth Ann, is, okay, so you says first responders. I know that should be black and white, but it's kind of not. So who are our first responders?
It is any police officers, firefighters, any of the schools, any deputies, any
military.
Well, yes, military, active military. But I was thinking the dispatch is included as well because a lot of times they are the first line that you come in contact with.
It's EMS. It can be dispatchers. It's sworn officers. Volunteer firefighters, volunteer reserve officers, because they're officers. So it's really open to a lot of different entities. That
your prison guards, anyone that is that first line that you come in contact with, those types of.
And I would say if you're not sure or unsure, just give them a call and say, this is what I do, or this is what my family does. Do I fit the bill? What's the worst thing they'll say? You won't say. I doubt you'll say no if you fit the bill. I'm just saying. I mean, it just takes a call. Then the next question for me, I'm thinking through my head, would be like, oh God, what all do you need from me? I don't have my house in order to get my house in order. So
just basic information.
It is basic information. It's your name, your address, your children's names. It's really basic type stuff. Who do you want to be in charge of everything when you go? Who do you want to be in charge of your estate? Who do you want your children's guardians to be? Those types of things.
The things that you don't want to think of. And, we have a lot of first responders there. They're going through medical challenges right now, and you don't know what's going to be the end result. But, again, having this, and that's what I mean when I say have your house in order. When you have your house in order, it sure does make your family be able to do things to take care of you and their other family members. Also, in times of grief, it just takes a load off of their plate. They don't have to make those tough sort of decisions. And this is something that I think everyone should just be thinking about, but certainly taking advantage of it if you are in that first responder sort of category. And you mentioned the appointments don't last too long, that they do need to come in person. And so about how long do them and their spouse need to come?
Yes, they both need to come and bring their ID, and that's really it. We have notaries there. We do everything on the spot.
And you leave with your documents.
You leave with your documents in hand that day. And it typically takes about an hour.
Or shorter.
Some may be shorter. Some may be a little bit longer, depending on what the situation is. If it's just a basic documents, you may be in and out in 30 minutes. It may be 2 hours. Just be prepared. You can come check in and leave, go grab lunch, or visit the museum. The museum offers, they can go visit the museum and walk around for free.
It's Hall of Fame Museum.
That day. And right next door is the Ag Museum. They're having a pumpkin fest, I think, that day, that they could go.
Well, perfectly timed.
I know.
And now it's just getting the word out. You mentioned you have 40 signed up, which I find that very encouraging. And I also find it encouraging, Ruth Ann, you were like, we'd like 50 more. And I'm thinking, oh, gosh, yes. Like, there's...
Because we have the volunteers ready to roll.
Yes.
Ready to roll, which I think, too, is one... As also, don't miss the piece of this where you can use your gifts and talents for just about anything for good. I mean, even the law staff is putting their, gifts and talents made available for those who serve. So, it kind of, everyone's taking care. We're giving back and sort of taking care of our own. What are some of the other things that First Responders of Mississippi does throughout the year if someone's hearing this for the first time, Ruth Ann, and wanting to connect?
Oh, well, we have a planning meeting on Friday downtown at the Westin. The Westin has contacted us because they heard about the work that we do in our state, and they've chosen us as their charity of choice this year. So we're going to be part of the activities that are down there in December. They have a Festival of Trees event that your organization can sponsor a tree, and our organization, First Responders of Mississippi, will be the recipient of those dollars. But also, we're going to have a gala. We're not sure what we're going to call it. We'll know that on Friday with the committee members. But it's going to be Thursday, December the 16th, down at the Westin, and we're going to be honoring first responders and things of like that are just going to be really uplifting for our community during a special time of year.
So much good stuff going on. Okay, Christy, if we're like, yes, I need to know more information, or I'd like to call and set up an appointment, because I don't think they can just show up. They need an appointment. That's the important part. So they need to get their pen and paper and write down what number.
The phone number is 601-519-0334, or they can contact me. They can email at info@wffrms.com.
There you go. And if for any reason you missed that, you can always get in touch with me here at SuperTalk, and I have their information, and we'll get it to you, as well as, I'm sure, the First Responders of Mississippi's Facebook page.
Oh, and website, yes.
And website
yes.
as well. We'll probably have that information on it as well. Okay, you've got 40 have already signed up, but you heard it here. Ruth Ann says she needs 50 more families. That
Come
could
on,
be...
y'all. Come get your house in order. We're ready to...
You don't have to have your house in order to get your house in order.
That's
You
right.
just need to know a little bit about your house to do that, and we're making light of it, but it is one of those things that just take a little pressure off of you. You can feel like you did your part to house in order just really is a good way of saying it. Ruth Ann. But again, on Facebook, that's First Responders of Mississippi. The website is firstrespondersofmississippi.com. And then that phone number, one more time, is 601-519-0334. Well,
Thanks
thank you
so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time here and what y'all are doing. I hope you, sell out's not the right word, bust out with all of your appointments. And I hope you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.